make this full screen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome to a new edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Cota. To my far right, we got my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. And today's special guest in the middle. Oh, man. Welcome to class of 1999 in the house. We got a big one in here. Yes, sir. Former ACC offensive lineman from Clemson University. Also played with the New York Giants. You won the leadership, one of the leadership nominees in 2003. I guess he was a team captain too, if he was that smart and that great. So I'll let KJ tell the story. These two guys played together at Clemson University. They were recruited at the same time. KJ from Orangeburg, Greg Walker from Sumter High School. Today's special guest, Gregory Walker.
Yeah.
What's going on, Gregory?
What's up, man?
Oh man, thanks guys. Welcome. I appreciate you guys welcoming me in, and man, this is big. This is big. That intro, I'm gonna tell you straight off. That intro that y'all played with that music, man, made me want to hop back into them pads, boy. Quick second.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. Thanks, man. We welcome you to the show. Thanks for coming on. For the people that don't know you, Greg, let them know where you're from and a little bit about your background, all right?
All right, well, I'm from Sumter High School. Like you said, recruiting class of 99 from Clemson University. Third of three kids raised by Mary Bell Walker, single mother. My father died when I was 3 in 1985. So she had to raise us by herself and did a pretty darn good job, if I say so myself, man.
Right.
Everybody's doing well, man. We've been able to manage this new world with the COVID and with everything going around with COVID. Right now, what did I do, man? I played 4 out of 5 years at Clemson. Played a couple years in professional, one with the New York Giants, and then arena football a little bit. And here I am today, man. I graduated from Clemson, did well for myself, married, 2 kids. We're doing good, man.
That's what's up, man.
Cool.
All right. So, hey, Greg, what age you started playing sports, and what sport was your first love?
Oh, man. That's a good question, man.
Took you back.
I think we started maybe about 8. I don't know what age it was, but it was T-ball. We started playing T-ball at Shaw Air Force Base because I'm a military kid. My father was in the Air Force. So I was born actually in Wichita, Kansas, but raised in Sumter. And he died while he was stationed at Shaw Air Force Base. So that's where we started, playing T-ball. And actually, man, I would say that was my first love, really, with baseball and T-ball. But
go ahead, Jermaine.
My brother ruined it for us, man. He had us kicked out when he got hit by a fly ball in the head because he wasn't paying attention. And then he didn't want to play anymore, so I'm the youngest. So whatever he was playing, I was playing. So if he didn't want to play baseball anymore, that was it for me. So
yeah,
we started with football and basketball.
That's a good reason to stop playing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what position did you play in baseball when you first started?
Man, catcher. I was
that's my position.
There you go.
I would say I was always I wasn't always the biggest, but man, me and my brother, when we were playing t-ball, we were hitting home runs off the tee. So
Okay. Wow.
we were doing our thing with that, man. So, but yeah, I was catcher, and I think they may have put me at first base when I was there too, man. But again, it was only a few years, and then after that ball hit him, he was like, oh, "We done."
Word.
Hey,
That's what's
hey
up.
man, yeah, when you was a kid, man, what famous athletes you looked up to, man? You know, to help you out with your craft.
You know, the biggest one for me was the one. I don't know if you remember KJ when Reggie White came to
Oh,
Clemson, and we met Reggie, right?
yes,
So
right. That's right.
growing up, when I started, well, I didn't really get into football till I want to say about ninth grade year, right? And
Mhm.
so that whole time, man, Reggie White was the hero, the minister of defense, man, always was never ashamed of his faith, always ready to stand by what he believed. And,
That's right.
you know, a lot of people do that and they can't do that and be a beast on the field. But this dude was a monster.
Monster.
When we met him, man, when I actually met him and shook his hand, because
Big old hands.
I was like, man, one of these days I'm gonna block this dude. I'm gonna block this dude. But when I shook his hands, I mean, because I got some pretty big hands.
Yeah, you got big hands.
Reggie's hands engulfed mine and just took them up. And I was like, yo, I'm so glad you retired. But I do not want to. I do not. I don't think I want to be against you on the other side when
Yeah,
as a rookie.
for
So
real,
I'm
man.
so glad I retired. And you retired. Can you imagine that hand slapping you in that helmet, bro? What
Hey, I'm
he
telling you. Hey,
that
he gonna make them ears ring.
For real. Club.
Yeah.
So talk about when you first started playing football and what position you played.
man, that's a long story. And I only say that because I've always played offensive line. They tried to put me on defensive line a couple practices, but it started at Bates Middle School, seventh grade. Um, man, it was the first week of practice, just playing O line, doing pretty good. And this is basically where I changed my life, man. So, and Mary Walker's probably gonna get me if she ever listens to this and hears this. I'm telling the business. But at that point, man, I started playing O line and I did good, man. I was doing well, and then the head coach of the seventh grade team, I'm not sure if he was head coach, but anyways, Coach Nally, he was fussing at me, fussing at me, fussing at me. And at that time, I was hard headed little seventh grader. Thought I knew everything like all of them do.
Hmm.
And when we left, I flipped them off. All the Coach Payne, I think Coach Payne was the one that caught me and saw me, and was like, "Yep, that's it. You're off the team." So that was the end of my football career. I thought it was. Got home, my mom found out. Of course, they already called my mom.
Oh, oh yeah.
She fed me, man. So I'm not gonna get into what she fed me with, man. But she got into it. And from then on, man, every coach has always said that, oh man, Greg is so coachable. He's such a good coachable kid. He listens to what you're doing. He tries his best to accomplish. I was like, yeah, man, because y'all don't know what I got to go home to.
I'm telling you what.
Mom don't play no games. She never did, man. She made sure that if we didn't have A's and B's on our grades, we weren't going to play any sports. So
Yeah,
that
man.
she made that the standard. So
Yeah.
by the time it got to high school, I was playing. I was always offensive line, whether it was guard or tackle. Then I got to high school and I actually didn't play freshman year because the summer before I broke my ankle and my hand that same summer. So
Wow.
summer before freshman year. So I didn't play. I was actually in the marching band, and that was the last time that well, when I was in school, that was the time that Sumter had made it to the state championship. So
Okay.
I'm sitting here, we playing the state championship. Can't remember who they were playing against, but I'm sitting in the marching band watching them play, and I was like, man, I'm in the wrong uniform. I am in the wrong uniform.
Uniform.
And I was like, this is it. So I was still in band throughout high school, still doing all the other extracurriculars. But I was like, nah, I got to get on that field. And sophomore year, started playing JV. And if it wasn't for one of my coaches, Coach Robinson, man, he's the man. he was able to get everything situated because I couldn't find my what was it? I couldn't find my birth certificate. So you can't play unless you find that. So he did some calls, he did some digging, and was able to help us go find everything and get everything situated. And boom, I was playing. And then, shoot, long story short, man, from JV to varsity that year, and skyrocketed.
Wow, man. Yeah. So yeah, right there on the high school level, man. What kind of offenses did y'all run at that time?
Man, we ran a power running offense. I'm not sure if y'all are all from South Carolina, so y'all should know Jamacia Jackson. He played at South Carolina. He was at my high school. He was my running back. So
we played against him.
His freshman year.
All right.
Was our junior year starting. Man, this dude broke so many records. Our favorite play, it was a 46. I think it was 46 count, man. And it was like it could be 4th and 15. We're running the ball. Give it to Jamacia, pull Greg around. We blocking, we knocking him out. Boom. I mean, I can't remember how many yards this dude had and how many records he broke that year for that, man. So we ran a power offense, man. It was I formation mostly, and play action passes. We had about 2, and rarely there was a few times where where our coaches wanted to go 4 wide. So we didn't do a whole lot of passing, but when we did, man, we had some guys right there at quarterback, Brian Wilson, Merrick, and a couple guys out there catching balls, man, that were pretty good. They called themselves, I can't remember what they called themselves, man. It was something. Those guys were good. Carsey Benjamin, Mike Bracey and his crew, man, they were pretty nice.
That's what's up, man.
All right, so talk about your coach a little bit. Your head coach at something. You guys won a couple championships, I think, maybe 1 or 2 before you started playing football, and you guys were some contenders. I know we played y'all, and we ended up pulling it out in '97, but you guys played pretty tough first half. So talk about the coach and his style and approach to the game at Sumter High.
Tom Lewis, man, he was our head coach there. And man, I can't say enough about the man. He's one of the best men that I knew, that I know. I'm sorry, I can't say that, but I've known for my life. Great representative.
Mm-hmm.
He was the type of coach that would make you fight for him. You know what I'm saying? He would tell you right. So he wasn't one of those. He wasn't one of those that would tell you something and not give you an example of how he lived it. You know, if he's going to tell you to go out there and block this guy and run these plays, he's going to tell you, well, look, this is how we did in high school, and it was so tough here, but you guys got it this way you explain it. And they were really, and it's really not just him, man, but he had such a good staff behind him, you know, with the offensive coordinators and the O-line coaches and everybody like that. Coach Phillips was my O-line coach. And like I said, Coach Lewis was the head coach, and his approach, I'm trying to think, best way I could explain it to him is I would say he's a player's coach, because I don't know a player that can just tell you that they didn't love Tom Lewis as his coach. You know, I know they went through a whole lot of issues a few years later, man, but yeah, we were always a contender because it was the Big 16, so you always made the playoff.
Yep.
You always made the playoff. Oh, excuse me.
Sound good.
But yeah, the Big 16 always made the playoffs, so we were always there, but we had to make sure that we stepped it up. I think our senior year was one of the years where it took a lot of encouragement from the coaching staff, because we were like, I think it was like we would have to get down by 14 points before we started to play. You know? Okay, now y'all down. Okay, now let's start playing, you know?
Oh, yeah.
So it was like one of those things we had to wake up. We had to ease into the game, but they were really good with that, encouraging us and keeping our heads about ourselves during that adversity every game.
Yeah, man. Hey, so you play some other sports in high school as well, man. I know you play wrestle. I mean, you wrestle and you also play basketball, man. So talk a little about that.
Yeah, man. I briefly played basketball, JV basketball. I tried out for the varsity team because my brother was a big basketball player, man. And you know, little brothers always want to follow big brother's shadow. And I got cut, I think that first day of practice because it was a fast break, man. Nobody was there, wide open, and now everybody does this, man. I was open for the three, so it was one of those things. I'm gonna pull it because
Yeah, he wants you to dunk it, man.
yeah, my brother had a sweet shot, so I was like, oh, I inherited that. You can hear the coaches. I'm dribbling, and he sees me stopping. No, he's like, yeah, get off the court. Basketball, I was like trying to try for varsity, but I was on JV that year with Coach Rod. He was my head coach, and man, I was just in there to bang, man, just to foul and get rebounds. Because I mean, my free throw shot was worse than Shaq's, but if I got 4 points, 3 blocks, and fouled out the game, I was good with basketball.
That's what's up.
I think wrestling though, wrestling man, was a great experience. And that's how I actually got better from my junior year to my senior year in football, because what wrestling taught me more than anything is not to fear contact. You know, you're in the trenches all day playing O line, but with wrestling, man, you have to be straight up contact. You got to know how to maneuver them, got to stay low. So it taught me that leverage that I needed. It taught me that fear, that I got rid of that fear of contact and being physical. And shoot, man, when it came to senior year, that was easy compared to wrestling. Because man, they had you running stairs. First of all, when I got there, nobody told me that the weight class only got to 275. So I come in there like 315, and they telling me they want me to wrestle. I'm like, I can't even wrestle yet because you gotta get down to that weight class, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I think the first month, the first 4 to 6 weeks, I was just practicing, sweating, practicing, and then I finally got down to the weight class, and you had to beat the guy each week. No, the first week, in order for you to practice, in order for you to play and wrestle in that meet, you had to beat the guy in front of you. And man, I think for the first 2 weeks, I ain't had no hope against this guy. This guy had been wrestling since he was like 8 years old. He was like 2 years younger than me, but like I said, he's a freshman. He was all stock, cock, strong.
Yeah.
Like, this kid been wrestling since he came out the womb. So that's all he knew.
That's all you know. Yeah.
So the first 2 weeks I didn't beat him, but then when I finally beat him and won my position, man, I did good. I think we made it to the playoff, and I made it to the tournament. And what did I lose? I lost. I think I was third in the lower state.
Oh, okay.
I lost in the semifinal. Lost in the semifinal meet my junior, and that was my first year wrestling, man. And my mom was like, when she read the newspapers about it, she was like, "I did not know you were that good at wrestling." I was like, "Neither did I."
Yeah.
I wasn't really liking it at first because all I was doing was running, sweating, and lifting. And then when I finally got on the mat, it felt good, man.
Oh yeah.
So did you get any scholarship offers of wrestling as well as football?
No. I didn't wrestle my senior year. I took that time to basically go through all the offers and go to all my recruiting visits during the spring. So no, I didn't wrestle that year. I may have been interested in it, but I just decided not to do it that year because with all the recruits going on, I was tired, man. I thought about all that stuff I went through last year, and I think I was back up to about 315. So I was like, man, not sure if I want to lose this 35, 40 pounds.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sure, man, because I ended up gaining another 40 pounds before freshman year.
Yeah. Hey, talk about playing in the Shrine Bowl.
Man, dude, do you know how many legends I played and practiced against in the Shrine Bowl, man?
Go ahead and name
them. What's his name? Gosh, I can't think. I played for Tennessee and then played for the Titans too eventually. Albert Hainsworth.
Okay.
Practiced against him. Taria Smalls. They were in the Shrine Bowl. On the offensive line with me was Travell Warden, went to South Carolina, then the Carolina Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin Breedlove went to Georgia, went to UGA, and then he played in the league for a few years. I can't remember exactly where he went. I already said Taria Smalls. There was Craig Walker on the line with us too. Um, oh, and I mean, you already know Brian Vance. You
That's
already
right.
know there. That was with the Shrine Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And against us in North Carolina was some guys too. I can't really remember their names, man. But yeah, man. Hainsworth, Taria Smalls, and those guys, man. And that's, I mean, really and truthful, man. That week at the Shrine Bowl, the game was so easy because we practiced against the best ones. I mean, if we had known how good those guys were and we had to block them and prepare for that, that's why we and that year we broke a record for rushing yards
Oh,
because we broke the record for rushing yards in the Shrine Bowl that year. So man, it was like that was easy for us by the time we went against those guys because we had those beasts up there that we had to practice. Oh,
yeah.
C.J. Fry, he also went to South Carolina. Paul White, he came to Clemson with us.
That's right.
Man, it'll take me all day to remember everybody, man. But yeah, there's some good guys.
Who was your coach for the Shrine Bowl that year?
Oh man, I'd have to look it up. Man. That's 1999.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Do you remember where y'all finished at in Sumter?
Players, but man, you asked me to remember some of them coaches. Oh man, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a bunch of
Okay.
them.
The guy from if I remember his face, it was an older, shorter white guy from the PD area. Forgot where he was the head coach at, but somewhere near Myrtle Beach or something like that. But I can't remember.
Okay.
Okay.
I definitely can't remember. Man.
So talk about your recruiting process. You went to the Shrine Bowl. You know, a lot of scouts come to those games. You may get some new recruits, new offers that you haven't, had in the past or earlier that season. So talk about your recruiting process and out of all the teams that you visit, why you chose Clemson.
Well, let's see, man. The letters really started coming in after I did the South Carolina, the football camp, South Carolina, between my junior year and senior year.
Okay.
And that's when some letters started coming in. I will say that I was heavily recruited by Clemson, South Carolina, Wake Forest,
Okay.
and then the other schools were lower level schools that were recruiting me. But those were the top three for a while, man, because those were the only ones that kept sending. No, NC State, I forgot that. No, let me remember that because NC State, we remember NC
Okay.
State. So
Okay.
I was bound to be ACC, man, because it was either ACC or South Carolina at that point. So it was either NC State, Wake Forest, Clemson, or South Carolina, and man, all four of them were good choices. I actually took a visit for all four, of course. NC State was a nice visit. I actually gosh, what is this dude's name, man? He was a good tight end for NC State that same year. We were on our visit together with NC State.
Mm-hmm.
He was a good one, man. Coaching staffs. Okay. So the top three were always Clemson, Wake Forest, and South Carolina. NC State was a close fourth, but as far as the recruiting process and why I chose Clemson, Wake Forest was an awesome experience. It would have been my first time having a black head coach. It was Jim Caldwell.
There you go.
His son was my host, and we had a great time explaining everything and, just going on a visit through the campuses and everything like that, learning what they had to offer and what they focused on. Well, they were able to, they're in Wake Forest, so they're in that little triangle with Duke, North Carolina.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
at that point, I wanted to go into medicine. I wanted to be a cardiologist or cardiac surgeon or even a pediatrician. So I wanted to go on to med school. So Duke University, their med school is right there, not that far. And that was another thing that USC had on everybody because they had their medical school right there.
Yeah.
So that was a part of my recruiting visit for USC. That took me to the med school as well, and just showed me around there. And but as far as why I had to choose Clemson, man, when you step in, man, I'm pretty sure you already interviewed a lot of us former players from Clemson.
Oh yeah,
So
you already know.
it's a different thing about that atmosphere when you step on campus with Clemson, and then with Tommy Bowden and his staff, Ron West, um, Brad Scott, who was the head coach at USC.
Mm-hmm.
He came and he recruited me heavily, and he came to the school when he was still USC at Sumter High, and it was like everybody at the school already knew who he was coming to see, you know.
Yeah.
And like I had my boys come, hey man, Brad Scott's here. I was like, why? Why are you telling me this? You know, I get it, he's here, but why are you telling me? I mean, he came to see you. I was like, I don't know, man. I got a couple letters. I was never really big on thinking that I was all that and all that stuff. So,
Okay.
so he recruited me heavily, and then when he went to Clemson, it was pretty much decision made because of the type of person I knew he was and the integrity that he had. And then when I showed up on campus to visit with the other coaches, and they basically shared his same mentality and the same camaraderie and same family oriented. It was just a family oriented atmosphere there, man. It truly is a lot of love there, and you can really grow as a person. Like I know, man, if I went to Wake Forest, I'm sure I would have grown as a person, probably would have grown academically and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But there's something about that Clemson atmosphere that, and the way the coaching staff, the way they made it feel like family so much. I had no choice.
Yeah.
Lou Holtz, man, God bless his soul, man. This dude is a legend, and I can tell you, man, I met when we there. I met everybody there, and they showed me the head coach there. The offensive line coach there was Dave, and I'm gonna get his name wrong because it's I think it's Italian. The Gooch. We called him Gooch. Let me just call him Gooch.
Yeah.
He was the old line coach, man, and did a great job recruiting and selling me. And he told me he was looking at me since Brad Scott was there too, and everything like that. But this was after my Clemson visit. So I just went there because Lou Holtz was there. His son Skip Holtz was under him, and then they had the coaching staff there.
Mm-hmm.
And it just felt to me that he was really there just to warm up the seat for his son, rather than Tommy being there. He was like, "Look, I'm here. I'm here till y'all kick me out."
That's right.
Tommy was like, "I'm gonna be here all 5 years." I think Coach Holtz might have been there just to kind of groom his son to go, because he was older, up in years.
Mm-hmm.
It might have been his last coaching job until he went to ESPN and broadcasting. So, I think I made that best decision, man, because that atmosphere and just the way that you felt like everybody wanted what's best for you.
That's right. That's right,
So,
man.
Who was the player that took you under their wing when you first arrived at Clemson?
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
Freddie, man, he was my host. I don't know why I can't think of his name, man. I think when I'm talking about defensive tackle, KJ. He was a couple years with Gary.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, man, I can't think of his last name for nothing, but he definitely took me under his wing, man. Showed me a lot of stuff, kept me even keel when, man, 17. I was 17 when I stepped on campus. So,
Yeah, young fella.
First, so you stepping on campus, you see all these grown women. These women are grown.
Yeah.
Your head's going here, 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 and you telling me I got to focus on school, I got to focus on the field, and then that first practice, man. I won't forget this, man. That first practice when everybody not that first practice when everybody got together, KJ. You might remember this too, man. DeMarco Fox put a hit on Jodan Reams on a screen.
Yeah.
And,
right.
and Jermaine, this dude was DeMarco was a safety, and I'm like, this dude hit him so hard. I was like, Coach, I don't want to. I don't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, man, I'm an offensive lineman. I'm already taller than him, probably bigger than him, but man, maybe 215 wet. But the way he hit that guy, I was like, man.
Yeah, man.
Don't blame.
That's how you do it.
So I thank God I got red shirted, man. I wasn't ready at all, man. But not just the players, man, but my offensive line coach Ron West really took me under his wing, man, and I think everybody in the offensive line room, man, because he was really that to me during the time I was there. He was really a father figure to us, and he could talk. I could talk to him about anything, and we verbally scrap. And sometimes, man, I would run by. He trying to encourage me, like, get out of my way, man. I don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
But definitely Freddie and Coach West, man. But that camaraderie in that locker room with the O line was just great too.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Hey, I know you redshirt your first year, man. Talk a little about that power hour, man. We had to get up 5 in the morning sometimes, man.
Hour. Man, bro, you bring back some horrible memories. Man, I don't think anything can prepare anybody better for stepping onto the college stage in that power hour, man. 5 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 4:30 in the morning, man. We sit pushing trucks with Ruben Mendoza, who weighed more than all of us.
Yes.
He's sitting there on the brakes. And we got this dude's like 350, 375 in the truck, and we got to push it uphill. He doesn't know. I think he had it in reverse, if I remember, man. So we had to push it uphill, man. That was one of our power hour events, man. But that power hour, man, puking, sweating, cursing, wanting to fight everybody that touched you.
Hey, then you got to go to class after that.
Then you got to go to class, man. That was awesome, man. It's amazing the things that we can look at what we've been through and what we were able to take our bodies through. That's right, whenever. And I know that these kids, we tell them this stuff, but you can go through so much more, man, because you don't even know what you can endure until you endure it.
That's it, man. That's it.
Yes, sir. Breaking that limitation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, you get out there, you redshirt your freshman year, correct?
Yeah.
All right. When was the first game you got on the field at Clemson? To talk about that first snap and how you felt.
Gosh, man, first game. Wow. I know it was not. I didn't start because I was behind Will Merritt. And at that point, man, they called me. Well, my boys are with me, Will, and then they called me the package. So I always went in on goal line, field goal, and whenever it was just a power run. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, put Greg in there. Greg. I was like 330, 340, smelling myself, So, gosh, I can't exactly remember the first game or the first snap, man. But I know, man, when I got in there, I was nervous. But then when you get that first hit,
nerves go away.
Nerves gone. And I was like, oh, this dude's soft. Redshirt freshman year, I got in there, man. After that first hit, I just knew this is where I wanted to be, man. With the O-line, man, right guard, tearing it up.
Yeah,
that's what's up, man. We got some highlights for the 2003 season. That was your senior season, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll look at some highlights, and then we'll come back and talk about the bowl games and some other important games that you guys played in that era, okay?
Oh.
last day and rock the masses. From Madrid to Calabasas, Tijuana, Mexico, through the devils in Tokyo. Say they know me though, cause I'll be putting in work. Commit my life to reverse, well respected, cause that's my word. And I'm sure you heard about a new sound gone round. She might have left my hood, but she was born in my town. You didn't know how we was doing the scene. But it's alright, it's alright. I know you know I see you smiling at me. But it's alright, it's alright. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys for the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say we rep the South. So what you talking about? I'm not running out my mouth. I know this without a doubt. Cause if you know these streets, then these streets know you. And when it's time to handle business, then we know what to do. What to do? Me and my crew, we stay true. Old school and new. Many will call, but the chosen the few. We rise to the top. What you want, just in case you forgot. Rush the stage, grab my mic, show me what you got. You didn't know that we was doing the city. But it's alright, it's alright. I know you know I see you smiling at me. But it's alright, it's alright. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not.
This is Hamilton. Derek Hamilton sees an opening. Look out. Uh-oh. Only the kicker can stop him. Hamilton puts on a spurt. He could go all the way as well. Clemson strikes back. 100 yards. Derek Hamilton. One thing you can count on the Tigers to do, they're going to hit
them all night, and here's their first shot. That's perfect man coverage.
Boston's pass, it is knocked away at a really nice Justin Miller defense.
I'll take your best shot. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys for the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, this is all you got.
And on play action, the third man wide open over the middle tight end, Ben Hall. It has happened 3 times now in the same area of the field. A 39-yard touchdown.
Take your best shot. This is all you got. I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. This is all you got. Well, it's alright. It's alright. I'll take your best shot. This is all you got. Well, it's alright. It's alright. I'll take your best shot. This is all you got. I'll take your best shot. Take your best shot. Take your best shot. This is all you got. I'll take your best shot. It's alright. Take your best shot. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say. We rep the sound. So what you talking about? I'm not running out my mouth. I know this without a doubt. Cause if you know these streets, then these streets know you. And when it's time to handle business, then we know what to do. What to do? Me and my crew, we stay true. Old school and new. Many will call, but the chosen the few. We rise to the top. What you want, just in case you forgot. Rush the stage, grab my mic, show me what you got. You didn't know that we was doing the city. But it's alright, it's alright. I know you know I see you smiling at me. But it's alright, it's alright. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not.
Big 3rd and 10 here, and with a step, Youngblood makes the catch.
Whitehurst from the shotgun, they turn it into an option. Coleman at the 5, hurdles, touchdown. But boy, the Clemson Tigers made it look like child's play.
To go roll out, Whitehurst, nobody open, keeping, and scoring.
They give it to Jasmine right at the middle, at the 10, at the 5, touchdown, Clemson Tigers.
Take your best shot. I'll take your best shot. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the sound. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say. Here comes the ready or not. Here
left it on the ground, and it's Aruski at the 5. Touchdown, Browning.
This is Turn in overtime. Comes the pass. Whitehurst fade to the end zone. Touchdown. Clemson wins. Kevin Youngblood.
Fielded at about the 36 by Miller. Quickly across the 40, 45, 50. Inside territory of Duke. Inside the 35, 30. Down the sidelines. And on his way is Justin Miller. He puts some orange. He puts some purple in the end zone.
Down to the 25, and Hamilton on the return. Tries to go the other way. Hamilton gets a block, gets another block. Colquitt is blocked to the ground, and he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 17-yard line.
Georgia all alone, going deep. Goodbye, Derek Hamilton. A 58-yard touchdown.
Ready or not, here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not. How you like me now? I say, here comes the ready or not. Here comes the boys from the south. Here comes the ready or not.
Yes,
Wow.
sir. Bring back some memories. I saw you lead
Yeah,
blocking
man.
on the goal
Y'all
line.
look back.
Had one dude in the end zone against Carolina. So look at Greg.
Yeah.
Man,
That's what's up,
that's
man.
that's the memory right there, man. I can tell you, man, the senior year, the 3 games that were like my most memorable is and it's funny, the first one was Duke. We played Duke, and I scored like almost a perfect score when grading in that game.
Mhm.
All the other ones were like average or above average, but that was like my best score as far as that Coach West said, man, you played your best game right then. And that I remember that because I was kind of upset because it was Duke. And no offense to anybody that played Duke, but it's Duke. I want you to say that. I want you to say that when we're playing Florida State, when we're playing,
Bigger schools.
North Carolina. I want you to say that when we're playing them. So then here comes the second game that's my most memorable is Florida State. Man, I basically zoned out. Like, I don't know. You talk to some of the guys. I can't remember half of the stuff they told, but I was so locked in, and I did not come out of that until that last buzzer when I saw it. And man, and then I said 4 then. No, 3, because the third one was Georgia Tech game because they talked so much stuff in the paper before that game. And I know our defense, Khalid Vaughn, was talking so much. Like, man, I can't believe the quarterback gonna say something like that and just run their mouth. And man, and that's the biggest thing that coach always told us, like, don't say anything to the press to make locker room material so they can put it up against the locker room and make the guys get even more hype.
Yep.
But that was when coach surprised us, Kate. We went out on the field to warm up with orange jerseys and purple pants.
That's right.
We came back in, man, had that all purple with the orange lettering. And it was like the first time we'd done that in like Clemson had done it in a while. But the first time we ever wore it, man. And you talk about people hype, because Oregon at that time had and they still do have all these different
fusion
colors.
Mm-hmm.
Just coming into our own, trying to figure that out, man. But when we went back in that locker room after warm-ups and Fonz and them had those purple jerseys sitting up there, and coach like, put them on. Man. all said and done. End of the game, 39-3. We didn't let them sniff. The defense didn't let them sniff the end zone, man. We were playing with those boys that day, man.
That was in Georgia Tech, right?
Huh?
That was in Georgia Tech.
Yeah, that was at Georgia Tech. That was
at Calvin Johnson was there. Yep, y'all shut him down that game. Yep.
Yeah, and that was the only time because the year before he beat us at Clemson.
Off. He caught one in the corner.
And let me tell you something, man. He is my brother married his cousin. They went to Tuskegee together.
Oh,
so I've seen him at a couple of their family functions that I was at too. So man, he's a Hall of Famer now, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Beast.
Quick too.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up, right there.
First ballot. Man, so talk about the bowl games. You played in the Humanitarian Bowl, the Gator Bowl, Peach Bowl.
Man. We played in a lot of bowls together, man.
Played in a lot of bowls games, bowl games. Yeah, I think you went to the bowl every year you played, right?
Yeah, every year is the Peach Bowl as a redshirt freshman.
Yep, Peach Bowl. Yeah.
Gator Bowl. Gator Bowl. What was the one in Jacksonville? That wasn't the Gator Bowl. That was another one. That was the one against Texas Tech.
The one in Jacksonville, Gator Bowl.
That's Gator Bowl. That was against Virginia Tech.
Yeah, Virginia Tech against Michael Vick.
It was
2000.
The Orlando one.
Peach Bowl in Atlanta.
And then Humanitarian Bowl, Idaho. Idaho was probably the most fun, man.
Yeah.
The most fun, man. 'Cause, you know, a lot of us from South Carolina and Florida, because a lot of our players from South Carolina, Florida, and Georgia, we haven't seen all that snow, man. So we get on that blue field, man. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. It was, man.
Right? Yeah, that was the one, Woody.
Yeah, Woody. Yeah, Woody got MVP
last season. Mm-hmm. So, man, you leave your bowl games, you get your rings, you go into the combine, you're working out, doing your pro day. How do you feel at that point? Do you know you did enough at Clemson? Did you leave it all on the field when you was heading into your pro day?
I didn't get to the combine. I didn't get the invite to the combine. So when I saw that, I was a little hurt on that. But when I got my agent, he had me working out in North Carolina. It was actually not far from North Carolina Central University. And I was working out there, man, lost some weight, got in much better shape, was toned. And, man, did it get me ready for the pro day? Yeah, man, I was hyped. I ran my fastest 40 ever. 225 rep. We did good on the pro day, man. I didn't think that, because my agent was realistic. He was like, nah, man, let's be realistic. You can possibly go round 4 or lower. I was like, cool, man. If I get drafted, cool, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
That's fine, you know. But on draft day, I remember he called me a couple times, like, hey, such team is interested, and this was like round 4, and I was like, hey, I'm good. You don't have to call me. You know, you don't have to call me to tell me, man. I don't care what round it is. And then I went through. Then it was like round 6 game. It was like, yeah, man, they want you. They want to get you in the 6th round. They want to get you in the 7th round. I was like, I already told you, you don't have to call me. Let me know. So draft goes through, watch the whole draft, all rounds done, didn't get drafted. Immediately after the draft ended, he called me and said, hey, the Lions want to call you up, want you to come in for a workout, and they want to sign you to into a undrafted rookie free agent contract. You know, and they're like, man, give me a signing bonus, $3,000. Man, shoot. I know that's not for these college students now because the NIL, they can sign for millions of dollars. Yeah. But coming out of Clemson, not making any money back then, $3,000, man, where's the paper? Where's the paperwork?
Sign it, baby.
Yeah, man. So I was like, man, yeah, I'm good. I'm in there. So we go to the rookie mini camp, and we do that, and I wasn't in the best shape, but I thought I did well. You know, I was like, man, I was looking at the guys I was there with that they brought in. I was like, man, I don't know if you're gonna make it, because by that time, man, I was already cocky. I was like, man, look, I don't know if you're gonna make it. So they bring me into the office after all that, like, we don't think we're gonna move forward with you, so we're going ahead and release you. And man, I was hot.
Yeah, I know you were.
my brother was at Michigan State at that time, and him and his girlfriend at that time were traveling back home. So I was like, man, I'm just gonna hop on the train with y'all, hop in the car with y'all, man, make it back. Then that got me hot, man, and that made me really drive because at that point they had told me this is the big thing that told me that messed me up and made me hot. They said you were the worst player out there, and I was like, did you see the other ones?
For real.
I was like, nah, man, I ran those drills faster, I ran them better, nobody got past me. But I was like, okay. So I was like, at that point, man, I was like, it's one of two things: either they're telling the truth or they really don't understand the talent that they got. So what I did was I put pedal to the metal, man. Went home, started training hard, was getting ready. I would walk. I would work out at my high school, so I would walk to my high school, which was probably about 2-3 miles away. Work out, then walk home. So I'd walk out, go there, do my weights, do my sprints, and then walk home. So I got mad cardio, man. My cardio was good. And then the next team that called me was the Giants. I think that was 2 weeks later. The Giants wanted me to come in for a workout. I came in for the workout because they called me, and then the Bills called me through my agent. But the Giants wanted to fly me up sooner. So I was like, okay, I'll go. So I go there. Meet, and then this is where Coach Googe comes in from South Carolina.
All right.
He was an assistant offensive line coach at New York. So man, it's like I said, it's not just on how good you are, but also there's some connections there.
There you go,
man. And so when I saw that he was there, and he was like, "Hey man, you remember?" I was like, "Yeah, that's Coach Googe from there." And so he was helping out with the offensive line coach. And I really think that he put it in their ear too, man, because I was still overweight. To my standards, man, 330 was good for me, right? So after the workout, did good. Coach Coughlin calls me and is like, "Look, I don't want any fat boys on my offensive line." So I'm like, "What you mean, man? There's a line we supposed to be fat. We supposed to be big, you know?" So he told me this. He said, "Look, I'm gonna send you home today, but in 10 days, I'm going to call you back, and I want you to have lost 10 pounds. And if I fly you back in after you lose those 10 pounds, we're going to sign you to undrafted rookie free agent contract." Right? You know, that, and really, man, in the NFL, that contracts mean nothing until you actually play each year. But so I was like, okay, bet. So I did what I needed to do, man. Put back on that hat to lose weight for wrestling. They flew me back in, man. They put me on the scale, and he saw that I had lost 20 pounds in those 10 days. I was like, man, look, I'm not playing. You said you're going to sign me. This is my dream. You said all I got to do is lose 10 pounds? Man, bruh, I got in there. I was like, so what? He's like, okay. Signed the paperwork, and then went to training camp that next summer, man, and it was, man, that was an experience, man. I mean, practicing against Mike Strahan, being on the same field with Kurt Warner, Eli Manning, and I was a rookie with him, and I was behind Chris Snee, and he was there. So it was Eli. The first round picks were Eli first, and then Chris Snee, and then so all the way through training camp, I was fourth string right guard, third string right guard, and second string, and the only person in front of me was the first round draft pick, Chris. I think maybe second round draft pick, Chris Snee.
Okay.
From Boston College.
All right.
So I was still nervous when it was about time to cut day, and a tackle, Ian Allen, came to me and was like, "Man, what are you worried about? The only person in front of you is the coach's son-in-law. You're okay. You're gonna make it. You're gonna be all right." And I was like, "Dude, I didn't know that. I'm a rookie. I didn't think I was like, man, y'all told me this was cutthroat. I could be gone in a second."
Yeah, true, man.
Yeah, man. When he told me that, I was like, I had to go back to the dorms and think about it. And sure enough, man, got made it to the roster. 53-man roster, was activated for I think about four or 5 games were was actually played in. You know, against the now I remember these, man. Played against the Ravens, the Steelers. When I played against the Steelers, I played against another one of my high school guys, Ricardo Coakley. He was a Steelers, I think, 2nd or 3rd round draft pick. He was a defensive back and punt returner and kickoff returner. Okay. Man, I tried my best to hit him during that game too, man. I was like, I'm gonna get you. He's like, Greg, you ain't get me, man. So that was fun. But when I played Baltimore, you know, I was trying to holler at Ray a little bit. I wanted to hit him, tag him a little bit, but I did get Terrell Suggs on a kickoff return, man. And I remember that, man, I smashed him. I mean, smashed him. I was like, yeah.
Got him,
he was like, yeah, man, you got me, but look at the score. Y'all had no hope. Yeah, I respect Coach Coughlin to this day, man, and a lot of guys, a lot of the older guys. I remember there was a big guff about him saying that 15 minutes early is late, is on time, and on. But we learned that at Clemson. So when we came to college, I was like, that's nothing. That's what we normally do.
Yeah.
So, but I respect him, man, because he was a man of his word. He told me that and brought me in, and man, I respect that. I respect the mess out of him, man, because I couldn't say anything else about him being able to bring me in and keep his word when I did what he wanted me to do.
Yeah. Hey, what kind of bond y'all had on the offensive line, man? Everybody was good communicating well, or what?
In the NFL?
Yeah, NFL, yeah.
Man, as far as on the field, yeah, the communication is great on the field and in the meeting rooms. But man, the biggest difference I think between the college locker room and the NFL locker room is not just that it's a business, but because it's a business, they treat it just like work, right?
That's right.
So there might be 1 or 2 work friends that you want to hang out with, you know, afterwards, but really, man, it's like, hey, when this is over, you know, don't call me.
You know, I got a family.
You don't want to talk to anybody at the end of the day. You want to go home, spend time with your family, or chill, relax, or anything like that. But I think it's different for the different guys in different levels, right? Mm-hmm. So those guys, you know, the ones that are 1st round picks or the millionaires, they're on a whole nother level. But I'm rookie, undrafted free agent. League minimum was maybe $250,000, which is good, but compared to being on their level, you know, New York, New Jersey area, man, you can't afford those houses over there. You can't afford all that lifestyle that they're doing over there.
Yeah.
You know, so I think, and I, you know, no guff to any of them, but man, I think that was just such a work environment where there weren't too many of them. But the ones that you were on that same level with, the other rookie free agents, the other guys that came in later, I mean, I still call my dude Jason Hilliard, who was in there with me. He was from Louisville. He came in as a rookie. And we still call each other, especially when Clemson plays Louisville. We still talk before and every year for the holidays and stuff like that. But no, I can't say that I connected really with too many other rest of them, but it was a good experience, man. It was definitely a good experience to be on the same field, practice field, locker room with really Hall of Famers, you know?
Man, for real.
Cool. Well, we got some more clips for you right here, your rookie season with the Giants.
Check it out.
We're going to go ahead and check it out for the people that's watching. We appreciate you tuning in. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Spotify, and Deezer, okay? Let's go ahead and go to that clip real quick.
In Green Bay, quarterback Brett Favre started his 212th straight game fired up. How he ended it would be a different story. In a battle with former league MVPs, quarterback Kurt Warner drove New York the length of the field. But Darren Sharper's end zone interception ended the Giants' threat and kept the contest scoreless at halftime. In the third quarter, defensive lineman Michael Strahan and Carlos Joseph drove Favre to the Lambeau Field turf, causing a concussion. Favre sat out one play before returning to rally the Packers in a 4th and 5 situation, finding Javon Walker for a 28-yard touchdown to give Green Bay a 7-0 lead. But lightning would not strike twice, as Favre did not return. New York wasted little time striking back. On the Giants' second play of the drive, Tiki Barber broke loose for an electric 52-yard touchdown run to tie the game at 7. Barber carried the ball 23 times for 182 yards on Sunday. At the end of the third quarter, New York began a 9-play drive in search of their first lead. Warner was 20 of 26 passing for 187 yards on the day, highlighted by his 4-yard touchdown to Jeremy Shockey. Favre, who finished 12 of 18 passing for 110 yards, was forced to stand by helplessly as the Giants took a 14-7 fourth quarter lead. After Steve Christie's second missed field goal, Green Bay's attempt to tie up the game was short-circuited by Terry Cousin, who intercepted backup Doug Peterson, ensuring New York's 14-7 win, their first victory in Green Bay since 1971.
Yes, sir. Terry Cousin, former Gamecock.
Yeah.
Got Doug Peterson, Philadelphia Eagles coach, in that clip. So talk about playing offensive line, and you got, Hall of Famer legendary running back Tiki Barber behind you, man.
Man, he was awesome, man. The stuff that he could do, man. But see, you wasn't just Tiki there, man. Ron Dane was there too.
Okay.
So you got a college. I mean, I don't know why he's not. I mean, he's definitely a college football Hall of Famer. You got Ron Dane. You had Tiki Barber in the backfield with him. And man, Tiki, man, it was amazing stuff that he could do, man. And then, because I think the year before, man, what was it? I think he had some fumbling issues or something. And then they changed how he was carrying the ball. That year, I mean, we didn't win too many games. I think we may have won 6 games that year. But man, it was a great experience sitting there with him. And he was one of the guys, man, that was very cordial, very respectful. And the thing is, man, people don't understand that these guys, when you're their teammates and everything like that, they are very encouraging, man. Like he bought the whole offensive line for Christmas. He bought all of them brand new flat screen TVs, the starters. He ain't, we were the second team. He ain't spend that much money on the second. But he still treated us well, man. Took us out to dinner and things like that, and it was pretty cool. He was pretty good down to earth guy.
What's up, man? Hey, talk a little bit about the arena football, man. You say you play a little bit of arena football. Yeah, I play as well, man. I enjoyed playing in arena football, man. It was nice, like playing in the living room.
Yeah, that's what it felt like, literally playing in the living room, man. Yeah. I played with the Columbus Destroyers. And that's where Jason Hilliard, I got cut from the Giants. Tore my ACL the Christmas Eve game against Cincinnati, and then got cut the following year. Then played with Columbus Destroyers. Jason Hilliard called me up like, "Hey man, you still want to play football?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, what you got?"
Yeah, for real.
The arena football with the Columbus Destroyers, and guess who my quarterback was?
Talk to me.
Matt Nagy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Head coach of the Bears, right?
Yeah.
So he was our quarterback for the Columbus Destroyers, and he was a pretty cool guy, man. And there, man, bro, it was fun, but I got my worst concussion playing arena football.
Me too. I'm telling
you, it was
so tight in there.
And it was camp. It was like the last day of camp. I think we were playing, we were practicing against the New Orleans Voodoo. Man, and it might have been Umar Muhammad or it was another guy. I can't remember who the linebacker was, but man, I met him in the hole. Smack. We scored a touchdown, but I went blind in my right eye. I couldn't see anything right here. Of course, everything was blurry, but I couldn't, like, literally, it was black. My eyes was wide open, but it was black. Right here on the right side. So, and everybody was like, yeah, good block, good block. Of course, another thing we need to stop teaching football players do, stop hitting each other on the head. I was in there blind, like, hey, man, good job.
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, dude, stop. I can't see, man. I can't see. I'm like, what? You can't what?
Can see.
So, like, 5 minutes later, throwing up, all the issues with concussion and all that. So
Uh-huh.
I knew then, man, that was towards the end of my football career, bro. Because I didn't want to deal with that no more. I think then the next year I came back and played with the New Orleans Voodoo, and that was pretty much it, man. I got cut that year, and I just didn't really want to play anymore.
Yeah.
Last year, playing with the Voodoo, it just my heart wasn't in it anymore. You know, it was 2007. Man, I just got married that year after I left Columbus to go get married, and then the New Orleans Voodoo called me to finish up that season, and so me and my wife went down there, man, and man, I just found a new love. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you, man.
Oh,
With
yeah.
me, I'm like, man, I gotta find something else to do, man, something that's longer lasting.
Yeah.
You know, with her, and and shoot, long story short, that was it, man. After I tried to do camp with the Voodoo, it was like that was it the next season. So then I was like, okay, it's time to get serious. And shoot, I graduated with Clemson with public health sciences degree, and that allowed me to start with the company I'm with now. And really, I haven't looked back since 2000. I've been with them now since 2008. Since I stopped playing football, I've been with the same company, and worked my way up. I'm a branch manager here now, and just looking for the future.
So what's up, man? So did you do any camps or anything like that, or did any coaching in between time, or you just left football alone totally?
I coached at Talconet High School. I coached at Mount Pisgah High School a couple of years outside the league. But and that's one thing that I would really love to get back into. Because, man, pouring into the young kids. And I think the big thing now for me is just thinking, you know, the last time I had a black head football coach was middle school. You know, I had the opportunity at Jim Caldwell was there, but that's something I think that we got to do more of after we finish playing sports is getting us into that arena. You know, not just at middle school, not just at high school, but yeah, college. We got to do a better job, which we are. Mel Tucker is now the one that's doing his thing in Michigan State, and we got to get more in the NFL. We got to get more opportunities for these black boys that's out there playing football to see us in leadership role and head coaching roles. So that's definitely something that I would encourage, and you know, I would love to get back into it. My son is 4 now, and I would love him to see me maybe coaching some kids in high school level or things like that.
That's right.
And have to see more of our representation in that vein as a head football coaches.
That's right, man. Yeah. Hey, any message for the youth before we head out?
Oh man, what do they need to hear? I would say, man, throughout it all, there's a show I listen to a lot. It's Willie Moore Jr. He talks about how experience is the teacher of fools, right? I would say I would talk to the kids and just tell them, look, you don't have to go through certain things. Certain things your parents went through, your uncles went through, the generation before you went through, your coaches went through, your teachers went through, and you don't have to go through them. They're trying to guide you and show you the right way to go. And I would say just put on a listening ear and accept that guidance, accept that teaching. Not everybody's here to beat up on you, man. Kids talking about let me be great, man. Look, you're going to be great if you listen to your mentors.
Right, that's right.
The wise information that they have for you, man, and you will exceed, man. In the word says success is in the company of many counselors. So the more counselors you can get, man, the more people you can get feeding into your life, the better.
That's right.
I would definitely tell them, man, don't wait for you to have to deal with those bad experiences. Take the advice from your elders, from your coaches, your teachers, your fathers, your uncles, and everybody else that's pouring into your life.
That's right.
And
then it'll be great.
They'll help guide you into making the right decisions.
Yeah.
Any shout outs before we head out? Like any shout outs to former teammates, family, friends, or fans, or anything like that? Anybody that help you along the journey?
I got a first shout out to my wife who's asleep right now.
Right.
You know, let me do this with the kids and all that. Man, other than Bro, there's so many shout outs, man. If I say too many of them, they're gonna get mad because I left them out. Because I already called most of their names with Coach Lewis, Coach Phillips, Coach West in college. Man, just shout out to my family from Sumter. My godfather, man, who also helped us, my neighbor's father, Mr. Holly, all of them. All these guys, man, the men of God and just father figures that poured into our lives that really helped me and my brother grow and develop as men into the men we are now. To my uncles and everybody, man, I appreciate it and I love every single one of y'all. Thanks for all you've done, and I hope that I can represent you well and help my son be the man than I am.
That's what's up,
Where do
man.
people can follow you at, Greg, if they wanted to,
I'm really not that active on social media. Me and my wife share a page with Gregory Petra at Facebook, and we sometimes maybe once or twice a week. We're really trying to get healthy now, man. I just turned 40, and like I said, man, I got a 4-year-old. I've already lost 30 pounds this year, so
congratulations.
That's there, man. So we're really talking about eating healthy and. Can I shout out somebody else who's actually doing something too?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, man. He's on Facebook. His name is dang, why can't I think of Jeff's last name? But anyways, it's E2M. E2M, man. It's eager to motivate. Follow E2M Training Group on Facebook. They got a new round coming up in the next 6 weeks. Round 5, man. We're eating healthy. We're clean. We're working out, and it's all for everybody, man. Everybody. If I can do it, I'm trying to get my mom and encourage her to get on it too, man. It's so much fun. It's a lot of fun, man. Check them out if you're trying to lose weight, even if you're just trying to get in more shape, get cut. So get cut for the Christmas pictures or the anniversary coming up, man.
That's right. That's right, man. That's right.
All right. Yes, sir.
Man, I used to when I was in Clemson, I used to keep one arm showed out because that was my best arm. I try to lose my best arm.
That's right. You got to show them the best, man.
Yeah.
Yep. So, man, we appreciate you coming on.
Jermaine, KJ, thanks for inviting me, bro. This is
man.
Awesome you guys have, man. And I look forward to watching more, man, and keeping up with you guys.
That's what's up, man.
We appreciate it, man.
Thanks for
coming on and giving your insight on your life and your accomplishments. We appreciate the words of encouragement as well, and we'd love to have you back on the show. Okay.
Yeah, anytime, man. God bless.
All right, All right. Well, you guys have just tuned in to another edition of the Sports Shop 27. I'm your host, Jermaine Coulter, and to my far right, my co-host, Kevin Johnson, KJ. Right. And today we would like to thank special guests, former Clemson University offensive lineman and former New York Giant offensive lineman, Gregory
Walker, man.
All right.
What's up,
you guys stay safe out there. Make sure you wear your mask, and it's not how you start, it's how you what?
Finish, man. So keep going.
All right. We appreciate you, Bradley, for tuning in. Everybody, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, and Deezer. All right. Until the next time, we'll see you soon. Okay. Peace.
All right, peace.